Hi, my name is Jacqueline and I'm from Lima, Peru. And I'm making this video because I wanted to share my experience as international student in Binghamton. So basically, I wanted to talk about um my experience in Binghamton because while I was at Binghamton, I wish I would have known so many things, or like I feel like if I would have known certain things or how the system works or what to expect from my school, I could have taken more advantage of things. Or I just feel like my experience could have been so much better. Not that my experience was a bad experience at all, but I feel like it could have been a better experience. So, anyways, that's the reason why I want to talk about my experience. So, hopefully, I can help an international student, at least one. So, for example, the first time that I went to Binghamton was for my orientation. So I never made a tour to Binghamton. Like sometimes like people go and make tours, especially in Binghamton because most of the people that go to Binghamton they are from Long Island, upstate New York or New York City. So it's really easy for them to make tours. And I think this is really good because you should like definitely know where you're going to spend the next 4 years of your life. So for example, I I actually made a tour the year before I went to Binghamton, but I never went to Binghamton. So I wish I went to Binghamton because when I first went there, I didn't expect to be a small town. I actually like I don't know, like I was like a little bit like surprised probably. And yeah, so probably you guys by now have already received your acceptance letter. And if you know already to which school you're going, make sure you know where is your school. If it's in a big city, if it's in a big town, if it's in a small town. I think like this is really important, honestly. So for example, in the case of Binghamton, Binghamton is located in a small town actually. There's only like a few bars. There is a movie theater, Walmart. Sometimes people have fun at Walmart. I don't know. I love Wegmans. There's Wegmans actually, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't think there's nothing more honestly. So yeah, so it's not like the city that honestly you have like so many bars, so many clubs, speakeasies, like I don't know, you have like a beer garden, like you have so many stuff to do. Every single day you can do something different and you won't get bored. Yeah, so Binghamton is not like that at all. So just be aware of that. The thing about it is that Binghamton is 3 hours away from the city. So if you feel like you are really, really bored, you can just grab a bus, a Greyhound bus or a short line bus for $30. They will take you one way to a city. And you can go there on Fridays and come back on Sundays. That's totally feasible. That totally can happen. So there's always the option that you can go to a city. And yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know, like, it's not like you're stuck in Binghamton for the rest of the semester. Well, then, I think that's the only bad thing about. No, wait. There's also the weather. I hated the weather. It was so bad. Like, winters are so cold. Like, you guys don't imagine. It was like freezing. I don't know if it's because I'm from Lima and the weather here is like really like warm all the time. Even in winter, our winter is like 10 degrees Celsius minimum. So maybe that's because I'm saying all this. I don't know if it's me exaggerating, but yeah, the winter gets really bad, especially because it gets even colder than in New York City, because it's upstate. If you don't like cold weathers, then don't go to Binghamton or just like buy a lot of North Face clothes. I don't know, figure out. But anyways, that's the only thing I can think about, like bad things about Binghamton. The good side of Binghamton is that since it is a small town, like basically when you go out, like you meet everyone from your school. Like it's basically like a college town. And I personally think Binghamton is like a party school. I feel like there's always like a lot of like frat parties or like sport teams parties or like bars. Like there's just a lot of parties every single weekend. And the good thing is that Binghamton provide you buses so you can just go to parties. Another good thing about Binghamton, this is like a good things about like living in Binghamton town. Oh, I know one. That if you're a nature like person, Binghamton has like a nature preserve, which is right in the back of one of the resident halls. I think that's what it's called. I forgot the name. Is right in the back of Mountain View, which is one of like the whole like the student dorms. And there is like a lot of waterfalls. Well, not a lot, but I've heard there are waterfalls like on the way, like around Binghamton. And then also like the Poconos is near Binghamton, which you can go and ski there. It's kind of fun. Okay, going forward. Number two is the academics. So, okay, first thing, ESL classes. As an international student, you're probably going to take ESL, which is English as a second language. So the first time that I heard about this class, I didn't want to do it because I don't know. Like for me, if you were accepted into a U.S. school, you probably are. You probably speak an advanced English, or you're probably fluent at it. So I didn't see the point of going to ESL. But and also in my TOEFL, I got a almost like a perfect score, and then I went to a school that they speak to me everything in English since I was 3 years old. Since I was 4 years old, I think I went to my school. Anyways, so I was like, there's no point of me going to ESL. Like this is like kind of stupid. But I'm so glad I did ESL. And you actually like you don't pick if you want to do ESL or not. They put you in ESL according to a kind of placement exam. So if they tell you that you have to do ESL, you just have to do it. And they told me that I have to do ESL. So at first I was angry, but now I'm really thankful because first thing, ESL is an ECA. Second thing is that all Harvard students they have to take Writing 111. And Writing 111 is like a harder version of ESL. And ESL, I feel it gives you a good ground for knowing what to expect for Writing 111 and what to write in your essays in Writing 111. So I feel like ESL is a great course that everyone should, well, every international student should try to take. It's literally an ECA, it's not that hard, and the teachers are really cool. Most of them are really fun and really cool. So I totally recommend taking ESL. Then let's move on. So something I really like about the academic part of going to a US school, which is basically the whole reason why you're going probably, is that there's so many different type of classes you can take. So try to take classes that you will probably not be able to take in a school in your home country. You know, like I feel like Binghamton offers a really good variety of classes, which is really cool. Anyways, so that's it. Then, okay, when you're going to build your schedule. So, I made a huge mistake my freshman year when I made my schedule because I thought like taking 5 classes, which is 18 credits, which is the maximum amount of credits you can take, was going to be like was not going to be a big deal. I thought it was like it's fine, it's okay, I can do it. But I of course was wrong. Even I think there was a woman that was a counselor that she told me like it was going to be a little bit tough, and I was like, no way it's going to be tough because it's only 5 classes, each class 1 hour, 5 hours. Why will it be tough? Like in my mind, it was not going to be tough just because on my school I used to go from 8 a.m. to 3:30. That was like a total of how many hours? Like 7 hours and a half, something like that. So yeah, so for me, I was like, no, like this is completely fine. But the thing is that I didn't take into account two things. First of all, definitely the fact that it's like if your class lasts 1 hour, that's one thing. But that doesn't mean that the workload that they're going to give in your class is going to be 1 hour. Like sometimes professors they just think their class it's like the only class you're taking, and they just like put you like they just give you a good amount of workload. Like sometimes they're like, okay, this is due Friday, and they're like